First to Go had its second event of the semester entitled Garden in a Jar, and it was about self-growth, adapting to an environment, and as a hands-on activity to represent these themes, guests were invited to create a garden in a jar. The event opened up with guests personifying a rose by speaking of their goods and the bads of the previous weeks. As the presentation began, the presenters and leaders of the event spoke on topics such as generational trauma, growth versus fixed mindsets, authenticity, and how we can progress ourselves further individually. These topics all culminated in attendees crafting their own garden in a jar, utilizing flowers and markers to define themselves in their gardens. Here are some examples of the attendees' gardens.
Feels good enough.
Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta reach up right now. While I'm working.
Wait, do you have
I created this little jar with fake flowers.
Attendees focused and learned on how to develop their own self-growth through college and beyond by focusing on the good things in life while finding gratitude for the obstacles and learning from them. They were also given opportunities to speak on their own personal experiences and reflect on their own growth journey.
An emotional response to a life-altering event that continues to affect us beyond the event's occurrence. Intergenerational trauma, which is the transfer from parents to child, and transgenerational trauma, which is the transfer across multiple generations. So this is like great-grandparents, grandparents, parent, child, and so forth.
When it comes to us, what we need to prune and what holds us back from being able to grow could be our unhealthy habits that we let go, and we always tell ourselves that we'll fix it in a little bit, but then we end up letting it become even more unhealthy.
What did you think of today's event?
I honestly thought it went well. You know, I ended up making the flower infographic for everyone, and I feel like that was a really good point to kind of just like come back and forth to. And yeah, I mean, everyone with their flowers and their jars, and as we were talking about flowers and stuff, I think it really hit with people.
And how about the process leading up to the meeting? How was that?
The process leading up to this, it was definitely a lot that went into it, but that's just because everyone within the mental health team had like their own thoughts and ideas for this, and we loved all of them, so we were like, how can we incorporate everything into this one thing? And that's how we ended up making the flower infographic. So although I feel like it was a lot of content, we did try to make it as cohesive as possible, so like that everyone within the event could kind of like relate everything, because it's like it's not just like one thing fixed and then like another thing fixed. It's always just like a bunch of things interconnecting together, and that's what I love.
The presentation definitely provided many themes and topics to relate about and reflect on. The audience was appreciative of their hard work and respected their honesty, and thus concluded First to Go's second event of the spring semester. I wanted to conclude with a quote and graphic that can be found in the First to Go Student Lounge, stating, "Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end." This has been Ernesto Ureño for First Gen Lens. Thank you for watching.